Hi, this is Nancy Yearout, and welcome to my show, High Road to Humanity. In every episode, I tell you powerful true stories filled with great wisdom that you can use in your own life as you strive for a higher road to travel. My featured guests will have their own unique stories to tell that enlighten your mind and your soul. So kick back, relax, and learn the secret to success when you take the high road.
First touch, strong connection, it lays deep in your soul.
Hi, this is Nancy Yearout, and welcome to High Road to Humanity. And guess who's here today? Leslie Sampson is here, and she's going to teach us how to find our twin flame. And welcome to High Road to Humanity, Leslie. So nice to have you.
Thank you for having me here.
Yes, I'm excited you're here. Let me tell you what this is about, guys. Let me preface this a little bit. So, more than a soulmate, your twin flame is the only soul that has the same spiritual DNA as yours. The piece that is crucial to your soul's evolution. Now, Leslie helps you to not only identify your twin flame, but also develop a loving partnership that is deeper than any other. I'm really excited to talk about this today. While you can have many soulmates, only one soul can be your twin flame. So this book, you guys, walks you through the history of twin flames, the various methods for finding your divine partner, including numerology, astrology, divination, and the Akashic Records. Through inspiring stories from her clients in personal life, Leslie shows you how to meet your twin flame and let your relationship thrive. Well, I'm excited about this because I need to meet my twin flame. So here we go. Anyway, before I bring her on, because it's High Road to Humanity and I'm getting ready to travel. So you guys, I don't know. This is what I pulled up this morning. Boeing Airlines stocks tumble as new COVID variant spurs travel curbs. This is crazy. It says the UK said it would suspend flights from South Africa and surrounding countries because of the new variant. I don't know so much about this new variant. I'm wondering if this thing is just, not so real. The European Commission recommended a pause on travel between the EU and Southern Africa. Airlines and aircraft manufacturers like Boeing have been upbeat about a rebound in travel demand, particularly after the U.S. lifted entry restrictions earlier this month. But the UK said on Thursday it would temporarily suspend flights from South Africa, Zimbabwe, Botswana. It goes on to say, this makes me nervous about flying. It says there's 122 flights between US and South Africa scheduled for December, which I'm not going to South Africa, but according to aviation consultants firm Curium, United, which has the most scheduled service with 87 flights, is set to resume nonstop flights between its Newark, New Jersey hub. Goes on to say that on November 8th, the Biden administration lifted a broad pandemic travel ban on most non-citizens visiting from more than 30 countries, including the UK, the EU, South Africa, and Brazil. On Wednesday, the day before Thanksgiving in the US, and generally one of the busiest travel days of the year, the Transportation Security Administration screened more than 2.3 million people. That was the most since February 2020, through still 12% below the same day. I don't know. What do you think? Have you traveled?
Not on an airplane. I've traveled in my car, but not on an airplane.
Yeah, no, I went last year to visit my kids and my grandkids because I do that once a year. I'm the once a year grandma. Hi, I'm here. Remember me? No, I do. I try to do better than that. But anyway, I'm going to go. But a friend of mine said it's really crazy. So I don't know. We'll have to
My
see.
aunt, my aunt flew in from Illinois. What was it? Wednesday. She was here the day before Thanksgiving, and basically, it's you have to wear the mask from the time you get out of your car at the airport to the time you get back in your car at your destination. So she said that was a little tedious, but
I always feel like I can't breathe. Like it's just not natural.
No,
Hey,
it isn't.
yeah, it's just not right. It ain't right, Leslie. Let me tell you guys what.
I don't know. I mean, I don't like wearing them, but if it means I don't got to pick up other folks' germs, then I'm okay with it.
I'm okay wearing the mask. But the thing is, okay, God, you don't want to get me on a whole COVID thing, do you? I'm going to read your bio. I think a lot of this is not real. I think a lot of this is hype. And I'm sorry, I think it's a common cold, and we've always had the cold and we've always had flu. And I think it's hyped. And that's how I feel about the whole thing. But I'll wear the mask because God bless, I'll do what I'm supposed to do. Leslie is a certified psychic medium. She's also a certified spiritual life coach and a writer. And she's an angel communicator, an animal communicator, a Reiki master, an angelic healer, a crystal healer, and a spiritual teacher. So her website, just so you guys know, is L. Sampson writing. Is that right? Writing.yahoo.sites.com. No,
It
that's
isn't.
not it. Okay. What's your
Yeah.
website? I'm like
It's
reading this and
Yeah, no, it's LeslieSampson.com. It's funny, I've changed my bio with my publisher for
I'm like, okay, so we know how to get in touch with you. Twin Flame, I want to hear your story. You say, and this is, I'm not sure about this, so I'm skeptical. You're going to have to sell me. You say when God creates a soul, it's then split into two equal, fully complete souls. How do you
Yes.
know this? Talk to me. How do you know this?
Well, honestly, when this whole journey started with learning about twin flames, I had no idea what it is. And I had actually learned about it from my angelic guidance. And I was like, okay, what is that? And what does it mean? And why do I care? And they broke it down for me. They broke it down and explained it to me and said, and by the way, you already know yours. So that was, it took me years. I said, okay, if this is correct, if this is the way it is, prove it to me. I'm a Virgo. I'm skeptical. I'm skeptical of everything. It's just natural to me. So I said, okay, fine. If this, this whole concept is true and right and valid, and if this person is my twin flame, prove it to me. And they were like, okay, my team loves a challenge. My team loves it. So every conversation I had, twin flames was somehow brought up, or my twin flame. Every class I took, I was able to actually break it down to where it was very easy to use that methodology, like astrology, numerology, mediumship, to prove the twin flame relationship. So it was like the more I tried to disprove it, the more I only ended up proving it to myself.
Interesting. That's really interesting. So you say in the book, the mission of these two equal souls is soul evolution, to progress their souls forward, learning and experiencing so their souls become more advanced and work towards an awakening. I believe here's what I think. I think we were all here to do that, obviously. I didn't know that, I've heard about twin flames. I guess, a lot of people, and you even say in the book, confuse a soulmate with a twin flame. Because when you meet somebody, you think, oh, well, they're, connected. But I guess a twin flame would be different. They're the opposite, you say, of yourself.
No, they're not the opposite of. They're the exact equal.
They're
of
the
us.
equal. Okay.
Yes, exact equal.
So if
A lot
I'm a
of people
woman, do I have a
mistake it.
man or what?
Well, it's up for debate, but let me tell you what I talk about in the book.
Okay.
So we're suspending everything we've heard about twin flames for a little bit.
Okay.
Because my journey and my discovery, while I had a lot of the same realizations that I read about online, a lot of the stuff I was experiencing was different, and it did not make sense as to what the sort of canon is for twin flames.
Okay.
So, firstly, when the soul is created, and then before it's split, that soul already has within it the soul blueprint and the spiritual DNA. Within that DNA is universal, divine God energy. So that DNA contains both divine masculine and divine feminine.
Right.
When you split it apart, it doesn't mean that you're dividing it into two equal halves. It means that those two souls are still complete. Even though they're divided, they're still connected with a core that is made out of the DNA that exists within their soul. It's unique. It's sort of like human DNA in the sense that even if I had a twin, there would be something,
Right.
unique about us.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
each soul has both divine feminine and divine masculine. So that's why I can say, does your twin flame have to be male if you're a female, or female if you're a male? No, it doesn't. Because the purpose is not necessarily a love match.
See, that's where I think everybody gets confused. They think it's a love thing, and it's not, is it?
No, it isn't. I mean, now don't get me wrong. It can happen. I'm not saying that, no, it never happens. So no.
Right.
It can happen, but that's not the point. The point is that you are both working towards evolving on your lessons and evolving the soul so that you can actually, realize your true light worker purpose and share it with the world in order to raise the vibration and, raise the collective, open the minds, open the hearts, open the souls, connect one another.
Mhm.
That's the gig. That's what we're working towards, so if love happens between the partners, fantastic. But that means, I feel like a lot of the twin flame community is not inclusive because it has to be either male or female. And the divine feminine, divine masculine. Well, divine is both. Divine is all. Divine is universal.
Right.
So we need to be able to, to include my twin flame when he was on this side, when he was on Earth, was a man.
Right.
But I mean, what if somebody doesn't gender identify? Does that mean that they don't have one?
Right.
No, everybody has one.
Right.
And
we're getting ready to go to commercial break. We'll talk more about this when we come back. Her book is called Find Your Twin Flame. It's by Leslie Sampson. Understand and connect to your soul's other half. This is what it looks like if you're watching me on YouTube. This is Nancy. You're out. This is High Road to Humanity, and we'll be right back. Hi, this is Nancy. You're out. This is High Road to Humanity. We're having a great conversation today with Leslie Sampson. We're talking about your twin flame. Okay, so here's what I get from this so far. So this person or this other half of me is either here or above, one or the other. And the whole goal is for that entity, that soul, to boost me or to help me to achieve my higher vibration. And my goal is to help that other half of me to raise their vibration so that we all raise our vibration as we ascend. Is that right?
it's a really good summation, but yes, it's correct.
Well, no, I have to understand this, Leslie.
Yeah, no, it is about
Mhm.
raising the vibration of the collective. Because
Mhm.
when you're on this journey, you're going to do your own soul work. You're going to work on yourself, and you're going to learn things about yourself that you're just like, it's
What?
going to surprise you. Like,
Yes.
it's impossible to connect with your, to be on this journey with your twin flame and not do that inner work. Believe me, I tried. I really tried not to do anything.
Well, yours came through dreams. Tell us about that. Tell us what happened to you.
Well, when this whole journey, I've been a medium my entire life.
Okay.
But it was always, I kind of set very firm boundaries about when and where and how, because of my upbringing was very religious and it wasn't something that was talked about.
Isn't that
And
sad?
yeah. But if it was talked about, it was kind of like, instead of, oh, my kid talks to, dead people, it's her imaginary friends. So, whatever, but that's how it was. So I restricted everything, or at least I tried to, into dream state, because in the dream state, you're the most open. It's the easiest way to communicate with spirit. And everything was fine and dandy, I guess, if you want to call it fine and dandy,
Mhm.
until, from, oh my gosh, my early teens till about I'm dating myself now, but I was 33 when this path started.
Okay.
And I moved to Massachusetts, and on the day that I arrived, I went to go and visit a friend of mine who was a friend for many, many years, and I looked up to and thought he was an amazing person. He was a bit older than me, but so it wasn't like it was just a friendship thing. It was more like a mentor kind of. And I went to visit him to say, hey, I'm here, I moved here, and everything's great. And he sexually assaulted me.
Oh God.
And it really did send me down a horrible black hole. And to the point where I remember one night I was in my apartment and I literally got down on my knees and I begged God to end my life. Not that I wanted to die, because that was not it. I was just so far down that, I just wanted all of that upsetness and depression to end.
I read that in your book. I'm glad
Yeah.
you shared it, by the way. I'm glad you had the courage to share your true story.
No, thank you. I appreciate that.
Mm-hmm.
It was very hard because
Right.
it's not the first time I've written about it. It's just every other time I've written about it, it's been sort of in the guise of fiction. So this time it was more important to tell nonfiction, the
Right.
full truth.
Mm-hmm.
And so it wasn't very long after that I was actually writing a follow-up book to my first fiction book, and I started having this crazy recurring dream, and I couldn't figure it out. And then finally, after a while, this person busted through, and I nicknamed him Chico
Yeah,
because
I
that was
read
the
that.
first thing that came into my head.
Yeah.
And he busted through and totally just ignored my boundaries. Because at the time, my boundary was like, if I was related to you somehow, sure, you can come and chat. Otherwise, I don't want to talk to you.
Right.
So, and he just busted right on through. And at the time, I didn't realize. It took me many years to realize that he was actually the answer to my prayer. Because in him coming, it became me trying to figure out, number one, how to shut him up and make him go away. And number two, how to make sure that never happened again. And I never figured that out. Just so you know.
Funny. How funny. How long before you knew he was your twin flame? Like, you asked God. So let me understand this so the audience gets it too. So you got down on your knees and you said, God, help me, because I don't want to live anymore, because this is not living. This is miserable. And
Yep.
so then you started to have these dreams. At what point did you realize that God had sent this, your twin flame to you to assist you, to help you?
Well, I'm a little thick sometimes. You got to get right in my face to tell me things sometimes.
We all are. Come on now.
Yeah, right. So I had begun to take classes, mediumship classes, any kind of classes I could, to try to make sense of what was happening to me and to try to learn how to shut him up, which never happened. And
reminds me of, the song when the guy goes, I'm Henry VIII, I am, and he keeps singing it over and over and over and over. That's what this reminds me of. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but that's what and you're like, no, shut up, shut up, shut up.
It's so true. It's so true.
God, anyway. That's so funny.
Oh, great. Now he's going to start doing that. Thanks, Nancy. Love you. Okay. So, I discovered that I had a connection with the angels. Specifically, right. I have a lot of angels on my team, my spiritual team. And I've always kind of had a closeness with them anyway, but I discovered there was a deeper connection with them. And I remember being in a dream state. By this point, not everything was in dream state, because I was in, taking classes and things like that. I was slowly coming out of my shell.
Right.
But I remember asking, just having a conversation with Archangel Gabriel.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, so tell me something new. So tell me something I don't know, and that's when he said, oh, by the way, we want to talk to you about this twin flame thing. And I said, well, what is that? Why is it? Actually, if I got to be honest, there was a little bit of not so nice words in there, but what is that? What does that mean?
What's going on? Right. You were irritated.
Now, because I was just like, what does that mean? And so, so it became Gabriel, and I got so many angels on my team. It's not just archangels, but so many angels on my team. Just, it's insane. So they just kind of gathered around me and broke it down for me, bit by bit by bit, like from point A to point B. It's funny because Gabriel had a deck of cards, not playing cards, just cards,
right,
in front of me as visual aids to kind of help me understand it. Because I was sitting there going, "What? Huh?"
Yeah.
Like I was so confused. I had never heard of the concept before this point. So naturally, I wake up and I spend the whole day reading stuff on the internet. And I was like, none of this is what I'm so confused.
Not what they said.
Yeah. So I start, and then I go back and I'm like, look, you guys obviously know about this. Fill me in the rest of it. And that's when they did. And they ended the sentence with, and you've already met yours. What? That was my response. And my second response was because I had read that it's all about, your one true love, your one true person.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I said, wait a minute, does that mean if he's on the other side that I'm not going to ever have the one true love? And they were like, no, 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 no. That's when they broke it down for me a little bit more and helped me to understand that it's really more about evolving the soul, learning the lessons, raising the vibration, which was still kind of a new concept to me at the time.
Right. We've come a little ways.
A little ways.
Yeah.
And so then that's when they dropped the bomb that, oh, remember that guy that we sent that totally turned your life upside down, inside out, backwards, topsy-turvy? Yeah, that's him. What? So yeah, it was it was a time of confusion for me, but they were able to help sort it out for me to where it made sense to a point. And then the more classes I took, the more I could actually relate the things that I was learning to the twin flame journey.
So
it made more sense.
Okay, so he was giving you information. He was sending you messages. He was telling you to get your act together and to get up off the floor. And so he was kind of like coaching you and giving you the backbone you needed at the time. Isn't that interesting?
Absolutely.
Now,
That's
here's
100% true.
yeah, I've got like 2 minutes before we go to break, but here's my big question. So does everybody meet their twin flame in their lifetime, like down here on Earth? Does everybody connect at one time with their twin flame?
My perception is yes, if they want to.
Interesting. So if they want to, so do you ask? What do you do? Just ask?
Well, you can ask, you can set your intention, because it doesn't matter if your person is here on Earth or on the other side, or even if they're on Mars. You're infinitely, divinely connected to one another. That little cord that connects you, that contains the same DNA that's in your souls, stretches throughout all space and time. So no matter where the twin flames are, they can meet and they can draw close to one another. It's all about, do they want to?
Interesting.
It's never about searching. I know my book is called Find Your Twin Flame, but that was the best title we could think of.
Yeah.
But it's better because it's about drawing them closer.
Okay.
You're all connected.
Right. When we come back from break, I want to talk about how to do that. So you guys, okay, cool. I'm here today with Leslie Sampson. Her book is Find Your Twin Flame, and your website is
lesliesampson.com.
Okay. This is Nancy. You're out. This is High Road to Humanity, and we'll be right back. Cool. Hi, this is Nancy. You're out. This is High Road to Humanity. I'm so glad you came to visit me today, Leslie. You have so much great information. I've never had anybody on the show in all these years that I've been doing it to talk about this kind of thing, twin flames. So if I want to find mine, the audience wants to find theirs. What do they do? What do you suggest?
Well, I actually have 5 simple steps that I usually recommend, and we're just going to kind of touch on them a little bit.
Okay. Yeah, because we want people to get the book.
Yeah. I actually have it written. This document is on my website. You can actually download it if you want. You can have your own, for your own little personal self.
Okay.
But it's 5 easy ways to find your twin flame. I mean,
nice.
There you go. Okay. So the first one is, now I mentioned the cord that connects the 2 souls. In my experience, it's connected at the heart chakra, which is at the center of the chest. Some people feel that it's connected to the solar plexus. I don't think that that's wrong at all, but that's the seat of your emotions. And a lot of times it could get a little bit confused with the actual cord. No big deal. It is what it is. But in my experience, it's connected at the heart. This cord carries energy, carries messages, carries intentions, experiences. Everything that happens to you goes through that cord to your twin, and vice versa.
Oh,
a lot of people don't know that, because twin flames are exact. They're not opposite. They run exact. They have the exact same on the soul level. So a lot of times their lives run parallel. A lot of times they'll have similar experiences. Example, myself and my twin flame are both vegetarian, or at least he was when he was here on this plane. So all you have to do most of the time when you have that urge to draw them closer is to set your intention and give an energetic tug on that cord.
Oh.
Literally. Like you can actually sit in a quiet
Like,
space and kind
hey,
of,
it's me.
yeah, just even, it doesn't matter how you tug on it, but I always say sit in a quiet space, take a couple of deep breaths, and just feel yourself, feel that cord connected to you, wherever, how you feel it, feel it. You can put your hands over your heart chakra and breathe into it and send that intention. I want you. You can actually say that. It's okay. I want you. I want to see you. I want to connect with you.
Okay.
The person on the other end, doesn't matter if they're tuned into the twin flame gig or not, their soul is, and they're going to hear it. So then their soul is going to go, yes, it's time. Yes. Woo! And I know that's exactly what Chico does. He'll get excited like that.
Oh my gosh.
That's what you can do. And your souls will actually bring you physically together. Now, if your twin flame is on the other side,
yeah,
there might not be that physicality, but there's still going to be a way where your souls are going to come together and you're going to know it, and it's going to be undeniable. So that's easy way number one.
Wow.
Easy way number two. Now, twin flames are so alike. You have to remember, like, they're the same on a soul level, and that transitions into the personalities, into the likes and dislikes, into what they're attracted to, what they're drawn to. So I always recommend to look in your circle of friends, because there is a real possibility that you've already attracted your twin flame in your happy little circle of friends and you don't know it. Because maybe it's someone that you have so many things in common with, you dig them and they're really great, they're a perfect friend, but maybe you have that in your mind that a twin flame is a love connection, and maybe you're just not, I mean, you love this person, but maybe, that's what it is. It's just a very, very good friend. Sometimes it's a little more than that. So that's step number two. Look around you, because you're going to draw them. You're going to come closer. It's inevitable. Will it be in this lifetime? Hopefully. Hopefully. So step number three, if you meditate, you can set your intention to connect with both the higher self and or the soul of your twin flame via your cord. You can do that. You can also set your intention before you go to sleep.
Okay.
Dream state is the easiest way to communicate with one another. And does that mean they're going to be on the other side? No, not necessarily. It could actually be the higher self of someone on Earth.
Okay.
Coming to connect you. Let's see. Step number 4. What is step number 4? This is the Akashic Records one. So if you are someone who dabbles in the Akashic Records are, very simply put, the house, the mechanism that holds the entire history of your soul from its inception. So if you're millennia old like myself, there's a lot of information in there. Yeah. And some people really want to learn about it. So one of the ways that once I learned about the Akashic Records and I was able to sort of step into that high vibration for just a few minutes, I said, okay, now take me back to the inception of my soul and let me see who my twin flame is.
Oh, that's cool.
Because, I mean, you can't open the records of anybody else. You can only
Right. Thank you for saying that, by the way.
You're welcome. I firmly believe that.
Yeah.
You just never know.
Mhm.
So if you go all the way back to when your soul was created, you will experience, at least I did, I experienced the actual creation of our souls.
Right.
And I could actually look at the opposite of me and see him. I'm going to say him because in his previous existence, he was a man.
Mhm.
So that's kind of undeniable. The biggest key there is believing what you experience. Sometimes that's the hardest thing.
Yeah. To really think, to really know that it happened.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And the last thing, this one's easy. I can say that now because I went through all the other hard ones. There is actually, I have a video on my YouTube channel called the Twin Flame Journey, which is a guided meditation that I actually channeled from my twin flame
Cool.
that will actually bring the twins together, but it's a meditation. So all I did was write it down. He was the one that came up with it. So it's
I
been
think
pretty
that's
effective
cool.
for a lot of people.
Yeah.
Those are really super easy ways.
That's really neat. Now, I want to know what have you learned that has from your twin flame that has benefited you the most?
Wow. Wow. I love that question, but I think the thing that I've learned the most
Mhm.
is that I'm worth it.
Your
Because
self-worth.
yeah, my self-worth was nothing before Chico. I would have never done this in 1,000 years. I would have never
Come on my
done,
show.
no, I would have not, no show. I would have never written
You're
my
so
book.
cute. Yeah.
I would have never done anything because I excelled at being invisible. So
Mm.
when he came, and I have found this is true for a lot of the people that I've worked with, on their, who have allowed me to help in some way on their journey,
Right.
who have helped me in return, is that in that moment where their twin flame enters their current existence, their reality, and life does change because you've literally just collided with the other half of your soul. You've literally met your divinity right there.
That's crazy.
So that's where the chaos comes from. And when that moment that happens, excuse me, sorry, my first reaction was, why me? Why are you
Because you
doing
needed
this?
it. Because you needed it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, that's okay. Why don't we go to commercial break, you guys? We'll be right back. We're going to let Leslie take a break here and take a drink. And her book is called Find Your Twin Flame. This is Nancy Yearout, and this is High Road to Humanity. And I'm back here today with Leslie. Her book is How to Find Your Twin Flame. And in her book, yeah, it's an awesome book, you guys, by the way. I was checking it out yesterday. I was like going through it. There's a few things I wanted to ask you. You have a chapter on numerology, and I'm really into numbers. And you talk about our life path and how we're connected, like numerically, it seems like, to this other person. So would you address that for us a little bit?
Oh, sure. One of the things that I learned during the process of putting all of this together is that twin flames will incarnate in such a way that it will be very easy to discover it. A lot of people want to make it more difficult than it has to be for astrology, it's got to be at this angle, it's got to be at this junction, and it's too hard. Honestly, this stuff's important, you need to know it, but when it comes to numbers numbers are fascinating because they're right, they're true, they're undeniable, there's nothing that is false about a number. So when it comes to twin flames, there are actually several master numbers, and I list them. It's like 7, 8, 11, 33, things like that come to play in twin flame numerology. And it's because it's an amplified energy, basically. It actually is able to sort of pinpoint, like, if you're doing a numbers like
Can I read one of these from your book? Is that okay?
Go ahead.
All right. Well, she says one is called the oneness number. I thought this was really interesting, by the way. This is because it indicates energetic and soul oneness, not just between all souls, but specifically between twin flames. The oneness number may also symbolize new beginnings, new energy, and new growth. So for twin flames on their journey of soul evolution, this meaning is quite important. I love this, how you do this. How did you figure this out?
Well, a lot of it actually was working through the process and for myself and for others. And these numbers just kept coming up and coming up and coming up. And it was more than just a repeating number. There's a difference between a master number and a repeating number.
Okay.
The master number is like an amplified energy. But like if, for example, you have a lot of ones, you have ones in 1111, which
Right.
is kind of one of the considered the main twin flame sign,
Okay.
if you want to look at it that way. But it, I don't want to say it's trial and error because it was so much more than that. That's kind of the easiest way to put it, because when I put all the information together, a pattern started to emerge. And then, of course, there are things that are naturally known within the twin flame universe, like the 11, like the 22, like the 33, because these are amplified numbers. But it just was right there. It was almost like putting together a puzzle piece, a puzzle of 1,000 pieces, and all the pieces looked the same. It was very.
So it's
It was
like my birthday. So if I met my twin flame and they had the same birthday as me and we added up the numbers, we'd have the same number.
You would, yes. So
Okay.
that's why. That is why. I say this several times in the book. Each method is a piece. So the more pieces that you come together, the more evidence that you have, the more proof there's going to be. And we're not about proving it to everybody else. We're only about proving it to me. Because like I said, I'm a skeptic.
Right.
I can't help it.
I am too. And before you came on the show, I was like, I don't know if I believe this or not. But you have really, but you prove it. Well, the biggest thing that, like you said in the very beginning, and I'll just be honest with you, I can see the benefit. It, especially for you when you tell your story. I mean, you needed that twin flame to boost you so you could be the person you came here to be, to live your life purpose, to live your path, right? I mean, that's pretty much it. They've got your back, I think is what it is.
Yes. And I love that analogy because that's really how it feels. Yeah, I tell people that all the time. I was like, without him, I don't even know. I can't imagine my life not knowing anything about twin flames. Like if somebody hit me with a neuralizer and I didn't know it anymore,
that would suck.
Men in black, right?
Well, no, I don't think that's too far-fetched anymore, actually. But my question, I guess, is to you, is do you talk to him every day? Do you have conversations? Do you ask him questions like if you don't want to know, like, do you use your guides or your angels, or do you use him?
Well,
do you know what I mean?
I know what you mean. I am kind of lucky in the sense that he is on my team. He is actually a guide for me now. Probably always has been since he's been over there and I just didn't know it. But yes, I talk to him every day. Yeah, I do. We have conversations every day, or I should say pretty much every day. Because he actually has a role on the other side where he assists folks with transitioning over there. So I was, if I don't hear from him in a couple of days, I know he's busy. He's working. So, but with my team, he's a part of my team. So, when I do my work, things like this, I call them all in, and so, yes, he's here right now.
Does he have a message that he wants to give to the audience for humanity?
Let me see. Oh. He's going to make me cry.
Oh, what does he say?
The message is that it's all about love. Everything is love. Everything is love. Even if it doesn't seem like it, that's the root. But the most important is loving yourself. That has to come first. And he tried to practice that when he was here, he says,
Hard.
and it's still important for him. So it's all about love. So that is, you know, I wish I could express the emotion behind the message, because I actually am welling up, because it's a very strongly powerful intended message. So
Oh, thank you.
yeah, it's like, don't be afraid to love yourself. It's kind of going like that. So
Well, and I think that, I'm just going to say this, I'm myself included, and you too. I think we've all had this, we're not taught to love ourselves. It's the weirdest thing. It's the
oh, no.
strangest thing. And then, when you say it to somebody, of course, I've been working on this myself for years. And I'm not, too proud to say that. But I think when you tell somebody else, they're like, oh, well, that's like, little self, absorbed, don't you think? Or it's a little bit, cocky on your end, but it's not about that at all. What I've learned is to love, you have to love your soul, because how can you love another person? This is what I've learned, unless you love yourself, because you can't.
You can't. And that's also integral to the twin flame gig too, because you have to, that's part of that internal work that you do. I know for myself, I had so much baggage covering up the self-love that it took years to find it, to clear out all that stuff. So I feel like it's just so, it's, we're taught that it's selfish to put ourselves first, and that's not true. That's not true at all.
Right.
But I think that comes from a very
Dark place.
Or fear-based methodology or way of thinking, because people just, they just don't want people to do stuff for themselves. Don't put yourself first. Well, why not? If you don't, who's going to?
Nobody. It's like, and it all goes back to the same analogy when you're on the airplane and you put your mask on first. It really does. I'm just going to say this, and this just happened to me recently. I hate to always tell you my stories, but I'll tell you real quick. I got sick about 3 weeks ago, and I just didn't want to go to the doctor, so I didn't go. But I do 3-4 shows a week, make sure everybody's taken care of. Do my deals, do what I have to do my real estate, do all my stuff. But it wasn't taking care of me. And finally, I just got so sick, I had to actually cancel a show and go to the doctor, and what it makes me realize is I need to start taking care of myself instead of always everybody else. Because if we're not good, then nobody's good. Then I can't do my thing, and you can't do your thing, and people can't. Is that, what I mean? I think that's why I think we have to change this.
Yeah, and I think that's part of the whole raising the vibration too, is helping people to kind of maybe possibly be open to a different way of thinking. It's not easy. It's not easy to completely and totally change your way of thinking that you've had for your whole life.
The way you were taught.
Yes, slowly and surely, I believe, wholeheartedly believe, and surely, it will evolve. It doesn't have a choice. It can't devolve. It can only evolve into something that's just more beautiful, where it's about, selflessness, not selfishness. It's about giving to others. It's about, love and peace. And I know that sounds hokey, and people will go, oh my God, no, oh my God, you crazy person.
It's about kindness.
It all falls in together, and I feel like that's kind of what we need most right now.
Yes.
And just, I try really hard to have that in my own sort of sphere, my own sort of circle. And I hope I radiate that, because I firmly believe that the energy you give out is, it doesn't always come back immediately. Sometimes it radiates and keeps going, keeps going, keeps going. So sometimes you just, just a smile can make somebody else's day. might smile at somebody at 8 o'clock in the morning, and at 5 o'clock in the afternoon, somebody's getting the benefit of that smile.
Right. Wow.
Yeah.
You've got it figured out, Leslie. I'm really glad you came. You said other books. What's your other book?
Well, the first book that I wrote is a fiction book called Fanatical Betrayal, and it's actually based on
Okay.
what
Okay.
happened, sort of what happened to me. And but all of my other work is actually, you can read it on my Wattpad, I think, and the link is on my website,
Okay.
on my
Cool.
writing CV.
Well, I have to tell you, it's a fantastic book, and we got to get out of here today, but I'm really glad you came, and your message was fantastic, and thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for having me.
Yes. Yeah. You guys, it's called Find Your Twin Flame. Hey, you guys don't, you got to remember to go to my website and check out nancyyearout.com. And if you want a psychic reading, go there and click on the book button and you can book with me. And I've got some really cool classes. So if you click on the VIP, you can see some of the videos that I've put out to teach you guys how to manifest and do some of these really cool things. I'll have to do one on numerology now that we're talking about it. Yeah, because I love the numbers. And you'll have to come back, Leslie. It would be great to have you back again.
I would love to. Thank you. I would love to come back.
Yeah, we'll have to have you back. Hey, you guys, have a great day. Everybody enjoy your Thanksgiving weekend. This is Nancy Year Out. This is High Road to Humanity, and we'll see you next time. Everybody take care and God bless.
Connect the dots and keep the motion. Can achieve your goal. Let's hit the high road.
Hey, you guys, join me next week on The High Road for more stories filled with wisdom, love, and hope for our future. Have a fabulous week and know that by staying on the high road, you will make it to your destination. Visit my website, nancyyearout.com, where you can book a private session to learn how to tap into your own abilities. And check out my YouTube channel. It's Nancy Year Out's High Road to Humanity.
You can achieve your goal.